just jump right into what we're going to do today. But if you have any questions that, maybe we possibly covered last time is fine. This one is going to be more about how to take that cell phone video that I got you comfortable with in the beginner training, and just jazz it up some. Very similar to what a lot of you guys were saying in your introduction. You want to be able to edit some stuff out. You want to be able to throw some things in, maybe cut off at the end, maybe add some music, what I like to call add branding, which is one that I feel like, that's why I'm like, put it right at the top, because I feel like people get really caught up in like the little things like, oh, I want to make sure, I said that word just correctly. And then they forget about branding and they forget about calls to action and things like that, that really propel that video to the next level. So we're going to talk about how to do that, how to edit within third-party applications. I really went back and forth a lot on what to show you guys. I have my favorites, of course. I tried to find ones that were free or inexpensive, or even have a free version for nonprofits. I can mention some of the ones, and I will mention some of the ones that are paid. And so I won't necessarily go over those, but those are some that you can always look up and say, well, if we feel like we're going to be editing, 20 videos, and I go do the free trial of this and I like it a lot better, it's probably going to be worth that $80 a year, whatever it is, to check out that program. So that's kind of where you need, you kind of decide what your need is and where you lie. And I always say, just because I really like something doesn't mean somebody else is going to like it. So I tried to give you kind of a broad spectrum of different ones to use, as well as most of these are on the desktop, which I know that was something that people were interested in last time. I am going to show one on my phone. Hopefully, I've done 2 updates now to how I connect my phone. So I'm hoping they work a little bit better than they did last time. And I do apologize for that, because I'm like, I don't know what happened. Maybe it just needed an update. So hopefully that'll do today. Then I think the big part is, and I know, I forget who said it now, there was going to do, the gardens, they were going to do several different videos. So what you'll probably want to do is try to get all those videos done with what we call batching. So having like everybody come on the same day, this beautiful day, and do it in the gardens, and be in that mindset and just like bust out, 20 videos, let's say. Then you're going to go and you're going to go do all that branding. That's going to take you a few days. And then you're not going to want to push them out all at the same time. You're going to want to trickle them out. So we're going to talk about scheduling and uploading video, because there is some barriers there, and I've ran into it. I'll have clients do a video and they'll send it to me and I'll be like, and I'll even give them the specs, and I think they have set it up correctly, and I'll go and I'll be like, you know what, it's just not really looking that great on Instagram, or Instagram doesn't like it, or Facebook, something's going on, there's a glitch. That happened just a few weeks ago. I sat down to schedule all these videos and Facebook wouldn't take any of them. So I had to wait a couple days. So just kind of like going over that side of things too, and talking about Creator Studio or Business Suite is maybe what you've seen it referred to as a new Facebook feature. I'll show you that and show you how to upload those videos, and how to add some stuff to it, like captions and things like that. I thought that would be really beneficial today as well. And then insights and analytics. So that's where we look at maybe past videos, or we immediately start looking at that video. Maybe you say, well, I'm just going to try this video. And I had this happen probably about last week with a client. I think it was last Monday. They said, we're having a hard time getting people in the store, and we need something. And I said, you know what? I think the only thing that you're not doing that would be really beneficial is some video. And so we decided to do like kind of like an intro video. Hey, this is what we're going to start doing. Make sure you share this. Just did all this fun stuff. And then we went back and looked at that insights, and was like, you know what? That was like a really good time to do it, or maybe that wasn't such a good time, or that length worked really well. And then every video they do, we go back and look at those insights and say, you know what, this one kind of dropped off. Maybe we need to start earlier in the day, or maybe we need to not make it so long. So really analyzing those insights and analytics for video to see what works, what doesn't, is something I'm going to end with. So no questions there. I'm just going to jump right in here to, you've recorded your video. So I have a video recorded. I recorded it for something. I pulled it off my phone. I recorded it as an introduction to something like a group I'm in. And we have our video. And so now what are we going to do with it, right? So I've put it on my desktop. We can upload it directly. Like I could take that video and just upload it directly to social media and not do anything with it and be happy with it. And that's, you know, that would probably be the simplest, right? But maybe not the most effective. And then we can upload it and edit it is our next thing. So we can go in and maybe fix the color a little bit, take little bits and pieces out of it, add other video to it. Maybe, you know, we want to add like a little, like 2 people in it. We did this a lot over COVID with, we did like, I think everyone's probably saw at least one group doing it like a thank you thing, and they would like, somebody would say like a different part and it would make a sentence, if that makes sense. And so you're able to like kind of add video and then add branding. So again, we could just upload the video, but what if the people don't know where the video came from? Like this video gets shared and they're like, well, that sounds like a really great organization. You may have said the organization's name one time and then they're like, who was that again? I mean, we've all, think about on the radio. I always do that on the radio. I like start listening in right after they've said like where and who it is, and then I'm like, well, that sounds like a good time, like I want to do that. And then at the end they never say it again, and so I've completely missed it. And so we don't want that to happen. So we want to see, how can we add branding, how can we add call to action to our video to make sure if somebody catches it, or you know, maybe just sees the first part or the last part, they know who the organization is and what your purpose of that video is. All right, so video editing, I wrote beyond the phone. So we did some editing on the phone in the beginner one. That was the very basic, like change the colors, you know, fix things up a little bit. Very, very, very basic. A lot of times that's all we need. I always say these fancy phones we have, and I can only imagine the new ones that are coming out for the holidays, how much even better they are. But a lot of times these fancy phones of ours, the technology is better than some of our videographer friends, right? So we should be able to have a pretty good photo or a pretty good video put out just from our phone. But we can edit it on our phone, which is sometimes cumbersome. A lot of these programs I'm talking about, and the ones that are listed, do have apps, but they also have a desktop component. So a lot of us feel more comfortable maybe on a desktop editing it, having a little bit more control than just our, like I always say, our fat fingers trying to click things. So we're going to talk about these 3 for sure today. Like I said, I've got back and forth on this list, so I may mention a couple more. Spell it, it'll be in there. The first one that I use probably the most is iMovie, which with the I, we all know is an iPhone component, right? Or a Mac. I did look and I can download it on my computer as well. I just double checked that. I didn't do it, but I double checked it because I was going to use that one as my example on the phone. And then the other 2, I'm going to show you from the desktop because I did want to show you something on the phone. So that isn't an iPhone component. So if you don't have an iPhone or iPad or something along those lines, or a Mac computer, probably won't be able to use that. But there is a Android option. Unfortunately, the iMovie is free and the Move AVI is not. They do give you a 7-day free trial. So you could go check it out and see if it's any better than these other ones that we're going to be using. I do think iMovie is pretty user friendly, but I'm not too sure about the MOV AVI. I was going to download it and I saw the 7-day free trial. That, well, you know, if I do download it, I could, you know, it's like a few weeks ago after we got done here, it's like I won't have the free trial then, and so I did not play around with it too much. But from what I saw, just on the website itself, it looked very similar to iMovie. So we're going to talk about that one. That's the one I'm going to talk about on the phone. And then Canva video, we talked a little bit about in the beginner, just to kind of give you a teaser, like see how you can, you know, take your video, or more like, see how there's videos out there that you don't even have to do yourself, which is not really what we're doing today. So it was more of that component. So today we're going to talk about how to upload those videos into Canva and what kind of editing we can do, and some just different things with Canva that I kind of use, and this is with everything, is that it's not like a one-stop shop, unfortunately, especially if you're looking at a free version of anything, but a lot of times even paid versions of stuff. I'll use Canva to maybe take my vertical iPhone video and make it square. And then I'll take that square video and I'll put it in another program to use. So sometimes we have to kind of use that stuff, and that's where it gets a little muddy, but it is definitely possible. So we're going to talk about that in terms of those kinds of editing that we can do. And then Adobe Spark, which is one that I have been using probably the longest out of all three of these. I just recently started using iMovie probably this year, at the beginning of this year, maybe end of last year. And Adobe Spark is something I had been using for a while. And if you are familiar at all, Adobe is a program the Photoshop folks have created. This is a free program. They have a Canva-like graphics program. They even have one that's like a website. So I have a client that has, I wouldn't say, I don't think it's a registered nonprofit, but it's a group outside of her business that she runs for some of her customers and clients and patients. I'm not sure what she calls them. And she has created, kind of, instead of like paying for a website, she's kind of created some cool little websites for them to use in Adobe. So it has a lot of different components. And of course, one of them is video. And it allows you to edit that video, take different clips of video, add graphics to it, add music, those kinds of things. So we're going to talk about all of those today. And I think I'm going to go, okay. So just to kind of, I always say these slides are more for me. So when I jump over and show you on my phone the iMovie, that I don't forget anything. But we're going to talk about how to take short videos and put them together. We're going to talk about trimming the videos. So maybe you have, a video you need to trim on each side. Maybe you need to speed up some parts or slow down some parts. That is something you can do in iMovie. You can freeze sections. You can add text, which is a big one. So sometimes, like if the person's talking about something, like one of the things we had talked about with one of the nonprofits I'm working with right now is they're going to say, visit our site, and we're going to put the website when she says that, underneath her, essentially. So that was something that we can add on in iMovie. And change, I'm not sure. I'm sure when I wrote that was supposed to spark something. So I'm hoping that sparks something when I go over there. So I'm going to, and you will have to tell me if you can see this, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my phone, and you should be able to see a picture of, I changed my picture on my phone. Those of you who have been following me, is everyone seeing an iPhone picture with the time and my sweet little family?
Yes.
Trick-or-treating in a golf cart.
Yes.
And a golf cart, which everyone that sees that picture goes, that is the way to trick or treat. And it wasn't at our house, but I'm sure my husband and daughter would like to have a golf cart they can drive around the house. So everyone's seeing it. That's a good sign. And so I'm going to go ahead and take you to iMovie. And so I just put the couple apps here. So Canva does have an app, and so does Adobe Video. I will tell you, I've deleted the Adobe Video off my phone. The last time I was in there, it was very, very glitchy. And so I'm like, well, we're just going to really talk about the video over on desktop anyway. But I did want to kind of, and as I was moving apps the other day, I thought, oh, I should reinstall it, but I'm like, I probably won't use it because it was very glitchy. So just to show you what the apps look like, I always like to show you what they look like. So if you go search your app store, I believe, and another iPhone user can test this, I believe iMovie is uploaded on your phone automatically, but I could be wrong because I don't remember downloading it, but that's been a while, so I could be something else too. So we're going to start with iMovie, and I'm just going to go ahead and click on the app here. And I'm hoping I've started one here. So let me get you back to where you would probably see. Okay, so projects. So what I like about these apps and these programs in general, they're kind of like a cloud for you anyway. So I'm really bad about, oh, I'll save that to my computer and then like I can't find it when I want it, right? So I'll save, I don't think you guys can see my desktop, but like if you saw my desktop, I'll save certain things to my desktop because I'm like, I don't want to lose them in the documents and stuff. I always feel that way. So I really like it when programs do things like this where they have a space where you can save that video. So like one of them you'll see, I don't know how familiar you are, but the Mahavi Fellowship Home, that was one I created over the pandemic time. And it's really nice because if I want to do that again and I want to use maybe some of the same components, it's saved there. And so many times with Canva and Adobe and iMovie, I'll go back and say, okay, now what did we do last year? And I'll pull that one up, watch it, maybe copy it, maybe just edit it and change it, depending on what we decide to do that year. So that's what I really like. So I always like to show you that your projects essentially is what most of them call them in each program, save to the program. So as long as you can log into the program, you've saved all your stuff. So you don't have to worry about somebody, sending it to somebody and they've deleted it or it gets lost, or trying to download it from like Facebook or something like that, which really kind of doesn't make it look like, after you've uploaded something to Facebook and you try to download it from Facebook again, it just doesn't look right most of the time. So that is where your projects lie. And so this is where you would see once you go into iMovie, the plus sign tells us we can start a new project there. Oh, I always do that. I'm hitting on the thing. Okay, import a project. Okay, I want to make sure there was no login because I'm always automatically put into stuff. I just want to make sure that there wasn't like a login or something. So if you do see a login, you may have to do that, but I do not remember doing that. So I'm going to go ahead. So I think you can see my cursor. I'm going to go ahead and hit that plus sign. And it's going to say, what do you want to do? Do you want to create a new movie? Which says that, kind of tells you right there what you can do. You're combining video, photos, music to make your own movie. Or do you want to do kind of a trailer where there's a template and it's kind of like what they say, the Hollywood style movie trailer. So you can decide. Most of the time, I think I've played around with the trailer a little bit, but most of the time I just opt for the movie. And it automatically, and I think this is just stuff I've saved on my screen here, it automatically pulls from your media. Let me see if I can go back here. Okay, so it's going to show you any video, and this is on your phone. So anything that you want to use, you want to have this on your phone in order to use this. It's going to have moments, which I think was just what we hit there, and that's just the last photos I've taken. Video, that's my last video. It also, you can see however I have it in my phone, it comes up. Photos, that's all the different photos and stuff I have. Albums, I think that's everything. And then backgrounds are any kind of background, like, and this is all just to iMovie that you could use. So if you're just wanting to start with a background and then add stuff later, you can. For this purpose, now I'm hoping I can remember where I put it. I don't know if I put it in favorites or not, because I put it on my desktop on purpose. See if I can file. I might just use my Halloween one that I was playing around with. I'll just do that. We'll just say, okay, we want this Halloween video. So you say I just selected it. So what you would do is you select your first video and you would say, okay, I want that, by just clicking on the check mark. If I want to do another video with it, I would click on here and hit the check mark. So, well, nope, it's not well, yeah. Okay. So yeah, so it's going to let me import, I guess is the right word there, 2 different videos if I want to. So you could do that all together, or you could do it one at a time. And so I'm going to just go ahead and do it one at a time here. I have that one in there. Okay. Well, let me see here. Oh, I wonder if I need to. Oh, I know. Never mind. Okay, so now you need to hit create movie. I was looking for a button up top. Okay, so once we select the video, you want to hit create movie. And so then you get this new screen, which I will tell you, the first time I saw this, I'm like, okay, this is way over my head. I don't know what to do. I'm just gonna, like, you know, never do video again. But everyone was telling me all about iMovie and how great it was. So I definitely wanted to try it. And it's just really playing around with it. So let's start. Let's start up here at the plus sign. So the plus sign would allow us to add another video or a photo or a background. So let's go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and add like a yellow background here. And so what you saw when I added something, it just added it to the back. So if we wanna move it, we definitely can. We can, that's the dissolve, hold on, hit the wrong thing. So if I wanna move, now, there we go. I was like, I did this before. I'm holding on to it. You will see now, you will see when we go to the desktop why you're going to want to do most of your editing on the desktop. So you can move those around. That the plus sign is where you add it. At any time you can hit the play button here and play, you know, from that point. So let's say you want to stop it there and do something. So I just hit that little line and then I hit the video I wanted to do. And then this other, and I'm hoping you can see the bottom. So I know we had trouble last time and I just had to make it smaller. So if you're not seeing like scissors on the left-hand side bottom, let me know. Because that opens a whole new editing system. Okay, you see those, okay. So we can start down here. I'm gonna put my cursor on there and hope that, oh, hope that works there. Okay. So we're going to start with the scissors here. So I can click here and I can decide to split it. See where it says split it, duplicate it, or delete it, right? So I can decide from there what I want to do with each one of those in terms of cutting it. So I can go to that. See that line? That line tells us exactly where in the video you would want to split it or where you would want to duplicate it. So that is our little guide, I guess you would say. So we would decide there where we want to do that. You said there's a lot of click. I'm clicking a lot. So what you don't see is my finger hitting stuff. So you may have to go back and forth and click on some stuff. Again, that's kind of the downside side of a phone, is making sure you're keeping on that. So let's say you know, have duplicated something. So you've duplicated this one over here, and now you decide you want to maybe speed that part up. That is what that little timer means. And I love the little tortoise in the hair there. So we can really slow it down and see what it's doing to that, like 1/10 of a second, slowing it down, or we can really speed it up. So if there's any parts in your video you want to do that to, you could do that right there. So that's, okay, here's some more stuff. So the freeze, so you can actually freeze a component of it. So that would be a moving component and we could freeze it. And you can see the time frame there as well, how long that would freeze for. So we can choose to, let me see if I can get it. See how I'm moving that? I could say I want to freeze a longer frame from there or less of a frame. So hopefully you guys are all seeing this and getting it. And so at any time, if you don't like any of that, you can hit reset and start completely over from there as well. Let me get off of that.
Hey, Kristen.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm the only one, but my iMovie, I'm trying to do one as along as you're doing it. And I don't have the scissors, the timer. Like
oh,
the bottom. I don't have that.
Are you clicking on, like, do you have a video up there and are you clicking on one of those and seeing that orange spot or yellow right here? Because that's what you'll need to do, is make sure you click on something.
Ah, How's it?
Awesome. Sometimes it's easy. Honestly, it's sometimes as easy as that. But on it, that's why we do these trainings. Because if you were doing this by yourself, you would just be like, this is terrible. I'm not using it anymore. But you have somebody to say, hey, just click on that. So
Yeah, that was
job
easy.
security, keep the questions coming. So that will show that, which is good. I don't believe I might need to put one of these with sound on it. So it's going to let me do anything with the sound here. Let me pull in a video with some sound. It might just be, we'll do this one. My daughter was in a wedding. There we go. I think there's music. So we got some sound here just to show you. Okay, so if a video has sound, all of a sudden now you have the sound button, right? So we're going to click on that. And then again, you can, so I feel like sometimes, and I don't know how much video you guys have done before, but like I have just always, I always say like pre-COVID, I have clients all over the United States. So it's not always sensible for me to come and like record them myself and like come back and edit. Most of the time I'll say, hey, record yourself and send it to me. And sometimes, and I don't know what it is, like, cause that's happened to me too. And I'm thinking, I talk pretty loudly. I have my phone set up shouldn't be muffled. There shouldn't be background noise. And it's happened to me where some videos are just lower in sound than others. And that's one of the things I really like about iMovie is that you can adjust the sound, because what has happened to me, and I'm kind of saying the pros and cons of all of these, because I'm like, let's just put it all out there. No program is going to be perfect. So like Adobe, I've put one of those videos in Adobe and I'm like, I have it on like max sound and I can't hear it. So I have uploaded it into iMovie and gone here and said, okay, I want to make sure that it's at, if I can't hear it at all, I want to make sure it's really, really loud. And then I put it over in Adobe and it's fixed it. So I don't think I've ever had to really adjust it. I usually just do max because some of the videos I've gotten have been really, really, really quiet, and I don't know why. And I've talked to clients about like, hey, make sure your volume's up, like your microphone, everything is up. And it has been, and the same thing has happened to me. And so I don't know if it's just some sort of breakdown, because I will tell you, the more you have to like download these videos and push them different places, the quality of that is definitely hurt by doing that. So I had a client do a video a couple weeks ago, and she's like, well, I didn't go. I just had somebody at the clinic do it, and they emailed it to me and it looked okay. And then I sent it to you and I opened it to make sure, and it just was grainy. So there was some sort of breakdown, and I'm probably not IT enough to understand it, but I would say it has something to do with like email servers and phones and things just not talking. So the less you can kind of like download it or get it to somebody, like the less steps. So using something like Google Drive or Dropbox, or something, just directly from your phone is going to be better. And I think that might have been what has happened there. So if you do run into that, I always like to point that out. If you're like, okay, well, I want to use Adobe and I put this video in here and I can't hear anything, remember, you might want to put it over into iMovie, max it out, because you can just stick it in there and max it out and save it. And that's your that's your movie. You don't have to do all the fancy stuff in here. And that's what you'll kind of learn today is I use several different components to get the end result. And that's where the DIY and the free versions of stuff come about. But I feel like that I sometimes have to do that with social media too. So I'm used to it. So it might not be the best fit for you. And that's why I'm going to talk about some of the paid stuff too, that might just be worth it to you if you're doing a lot of these. So that's how you would do the volume. So we can change that here. And then if we want to do text, again, just make sure that you've selected where you want things to go. So you can kind of see it at the top there. You can see the yellow here is being selected. So maybe I want to put some text right in here. I'm going to move my cursor here so you can see that better. So I can decide how I want that text to come in. Or what it's going to look like and how it's going to come in there. So as I select each one of these, and I'll try to slow down here because I know there's probably some lag time, you're going to kind of see how they pop up. They're not showing the movement. They're showing it down at the bottom. So we can select one of these. So there's several you can see to select from. Then we can go up here, and I just hit the number or letters. There we go. The letters here. It is Thursday, and this is my third Zoom this week of a 2-hour training. I'm like, who makes my schedule? Oh, wait, I do. So if I forget words, that's what I'm blaming it on. But you will see there is a ton of fonts. So you can choose anything or something similar to what your logo looks like or what you use on your website. This is a very good thing to do. Maybe you know the name of it, so you can go up here and find it. So you can select a font there. The next thing,
Where did
okay.
you find the font at? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Well, some reason I'm out of there, but my screen is not. You guys are seeing the fonts, right? Because I'm keep Xing out of it. Let me see something here. Okay. Uh-oh. Did it quit talking? Come on.
Oh, now it's moving.
Well, not on my end. Oh,
Yeah, I see your cursor move, but I still see the font list.
I know, it's not going away. Okay, well, that's not good. I'm gonna bring it back to my camera here for a minute and then flip it back over. I don't have the little yellow triangle I had last time, so that's a positive. It's like not talking to my phone. Oh no. I didn't even move my phone. Come on. Come on, you can do it. Oh. All right, I'm gonna try to get completely, I'm not sure what you're gonna see. It might just be paused because I'm gonna try to get completely out of. Click on that. And then the A, big A, little a, what we call it in my house. So that's where you find the font. So hopefully we're seeing all that. Then the next thing, the little circle with the color around it and the white in the middle, is you can change the color of your text. So again, branding. This is saying, looks like whatever font, well, whatever thing I've chosen, that's what it looks like, I think. So you can see the grid there. You can get the spectrum if you're looking for something. You can get the little slide. This is where you would enter the sliders. If you know your hex number, whatever your color, no, I think there's a couple other different colors, but if you know that number, put it in there, and then you'll make sure that color font matches all of your other branding. And that's under sliders and under color. But if you don't, if you're like, well, we just use blue, you can just use blue. Even has the colors down there. Oh, you can even use droppers. So let's say I wanted to use, oh, where'd it go? That little dropper thing, I can decide, okay, I want it to be the same color as that pew. Then I could drop it there. So, if you have your logo on here or something like that, that's a nice feature that a lot of these programs have. And you could do a little bit more under the little 3 dots there. You can look at style a little bit, you can decide, where you want that. If you want it in the middle, if you want it in the lower third is what they called it, where the text is. You can do text shadow. You can turn it on and off. You can do all uppercase, turn that on and off. Or you could decide, right there, it's just saying we're putting it in right there. Or if you want the whole clip, you want that text to save for the whole clip. So what I would do in terms of that example I gave you with the gal saying, hey, we want you to go give on our website, our web address is, and she says the web address. At that point, I would probably clip that part out and have that web address pop up just then and not stay on. Like if I put the whole video on there, I would probably just clip that part out, duplicate it, put it by itself, and then just put that URL when she's talking about that. So that's where I showed you how to split that, how to split it under the scissors here. and detach, split a section out and then put that in there. So that's what I would recommend. I mean, you could have the website on there the whole time. As you play around with this, you'll kind of decide what you want and what looks good. And then again, like after you do one of these videos, if you did something you really, really liked, you can duplicate the effort. I was telling Amy before we got on here, I work with some realtors and they do a lot of virtual open houses, even pre-COVID. And we just had like a template for them that was like, hey, here's your branding, here's where you put your video, here's the end stuff. And we would just throw that video in every time. And so it was just made it easier because there was certain things we had added already to the video that once we threw that video in there, the text and that kind of stuff stayed. Now sometimes we'd have to play around with it, but a lot of that we just duplicated. So the first time it took a while to set it up, but then the next virtual open house we just had to make a little bit of changes. And that's hopefully how some of you can use this, because it is going to be time consuming to do those 20 videos or whatever. But if you can do one and have it set up the way you want it and just kind of piece stuff in and out of that overall look. The last thing, this is the little, what do we call that? The diagram with the colors. That's where we saw that editing that we did with Canva and we did on the iPhone that just changed, what the photo actually look like. Sometimes I think, do people actually really use these? Now I think Ben, you used one when you did like it was supposed to be a dated video. You probably used a filter like this. So this is where if you'd want to add the filter to something, that's where that would be located as well. So pretty much you could do almost anything you needed to do in iMovie. That's probably why I like it the most, because some of these other ones I'm going to talk about, I may say, I use iMovie and adjust the sound, or I use Canva and make it square. Because if I don't, then it's going to look like this and not look as good in Adobe. So this one, I feel like I can go and I will show you, go and like create a video just from, like this was done in April, just from video clips and not have to do much to it. So if you, I don't know if you really want to watch this or not, but I'll show you an example of this. And again, not a videographer, but just, oh, you can't hear the sound. Okay, well, they're talking. I think I know why you can't hear the sound, because when I was messing around with the thing, I turned off the sound on my iPhone thinking maybe that would be it. So they're talking. They're saying a sentence, and then there's the information. So I guess that was not that good of an example, but wanted to just show you that was done all in iMovie. At any time you can hit the edit button, so we could go back in and change that out. You can share that from here too. So that first one is just the play button, and then the second one down here where my cursor is, that's where you would share it. So you can share directly from your phone to social media. Now I will tell you, if you go to Facebook, it's probably going to share on your personal. You might be able to change that out. And I say might because it's a Facebook thing. So I'm going to click on that and see what it's going to let us do right now. Hopefully it won't automatically push it. It will make you hit something, but sometimes, okay, see, it's just going to go straight to my personal. Sometimes up here where my name is, it might have a little drop down. So right now, and that's mainly a Facebook thing, right now it's just going to straight to your personal. So you probably wouldn't want to use that. And you might want to, but you probably wouldn't want to. I'm going to cancel out of that. And but on Instagram, if you have an Instagram account, you should be able to go straight, to your business Instagram account. You can send it by Messenger. And I will tell you what's super funny is like, I'll have clients say, hey, I'm going to have like our nurse practitioner do a video really quick. What's the best way for her to send it to you? It's not sending via email. It's too big, right? We've all done that. And so instead of trying to like tell a nurse practitioner, which probably doesn't use Dropbox every day like I do, like, hey, download Dropbox and do this and do that, I just said, hey, we're friends on Facebook. Send it to me via Messenger. Because for some reason, Facebook Messenger will take a video that is very large and let you send it, where email will not. which I think is kind of funny. So I've used Facebook Messenger a lot in terms of that, like, hey, I just need you to get me the video and then I'm going to do the editing and stuff. And this is the simplest way to do it. So think about that's a possibility. If you're asking board members to send stuff, most of my board members that were in that video, those were very short clips. They text them to me, and it was not a problem. I mean, maybe some of them emailed, but if you're having longer video and it's just not going via text, it's not going via email, really consider Facebook Messenger. I think it's just another tool in our toolbox that is going to be helpful and does not allow us to, or doesn't make us have to send it. Rebecca, I mentioned the Android version of this, and I will go back to the presentation here in a minute and let you see that. I'm going to say the acronym incorrectly, and it is not free though. So I didn't do it as an example today, but from what I'm understanding and what I'm seeing, and I don't know if anyone has used it before, it's pretty similar to this. And there is an app and then a desktop version, but unfortunately it's not free. I don't know the pricing, but there is a 7-day free trial that I would use, and it's very similar to this. So no, I'm not going to be doing this, but the other two programs, it does not matter the type of phones that you have. We're going to be doing those all on the desktop. I just wanted to point this one out just to show you that, that's something that would be, to use on your phone. As you saw with all the clicking and me going, okay, I have to make sure I click this, make sure I click this. It is not super user-friendly to use editing software on a phone, right? So we want to probably push it over to the desktop. And the Android, and iMovie does have a desktop, and the Android version does have a desktop as well. I'm going to pop back over to the presentation. Unless there's any questions on iMovie, anything you want to see again before I disconnect here from the phone. Just glad we got it back for a minute. Would use this, but definitely a good first kind of introduction to video as well.
Before you leave that, I noticed on there was a list, like it had Ripple and Lightroom on it. Could you just tell us a little bit about those? Is that something that we should know about?
Where was that at? Ripple and Lightroom on trailer? No.
When you went back to your list.
Was it when I was sharing something? Was it that? No.
No.
Well, I can tell you, look, I mean,
we were trying to pick whether you were going to pull from your.
Oh, okay. Yes, where I was going to pull from. Yes, that is where, let me see, albums.
There.
So so that's just other programs that I have. Lightroom is actually I think I paid for that. It's like a paid filtered system. So if you were like a lot of the Instagrammers, like the influencers on Instagram, they might have like, oh, I want a certain look. So they'll pay into Lightroom and then they'll edit all of their photos to have that look. So that consistency of look. So that's a paid program. I think I have like one filter I've paid for there. And then Ripple, I'd used because I had a client, I haven't used it probably in 6 months, but I have a client that was in love with Ripple. They loved everything about Ripple. It is a good video program. It is more just like graphic video, kind of like Canva, kind of a step down from Canva. Like if you were just going to take a Canva graphic and make it move, that's what Ripple would be, where Canva video allows you to upload video to it. Ripple, I haven't really uploaded any videos to Ripple. I've just used it more of like a movement. And the reason it's very popular is because on social media and just in general with any kind of graphic you put up there, whether it's a full steam video of, somebody talking or just a graphic, any kind of movement Facebook really likes if something is moving. And that was something they put out probably 18 months ago and said, if you can put something out that has a little bit of movement on it, it's going to do better in the algorithm. And so that's why we kind of started using that. But I had a client that just loved it. I'm not a huge fan of it. I think it's very clunky, but it's a good, like if you're looking for just a video graphic, that's a good place to start there.
Thank you. And, since you brought up about Facebook and the algorithm and that kind of stuff, I think one of the reasons why we're having this workshop and why social media video is so important is because as the platforms get saturated with more and more movement and video and that kind of thing, people are thumbing past text, right? No matter how important that is, no matter how much time you've put into composing it, etc. If there's not something visual, sometimes it's hard to get people to really stop and engage with it. And so these videos are pretty important as far as keeping the communication going between yourself and your community.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've put this fantastic picture of myself doing this video on here to talk about the next program, which we're going to talk about is Canva. And I feel like a lot of times when we do these iPhone videos, everyone knows that you've done it on your iPhone, right? Because of this look. And that's why I screenshot that. Probably not the best photo I've ever taken photo of myself and put it on here, because you can see this is a video. It has the video component here and it's vertical, which most social media love that vertical look, right? But when we're going to put it in a more professional kind of setting, because what I'm hoping from these videos is, yeah, you're going to use them on social media, but like the videos we were talking about, like the testimonials and things like that, you could send those out via email. You could put those on your website too. And so we want to just make them look a little bit nicer. Like I feel like, especially now, like everybody, you can tell like they're working from home, their videos are, a Zoom thing, or their videos are their office, but you don't have to do that. You can use programs. And that's why I wanted to point Canva out. And one of the reasons is that you can get rid of that cell phone look. So we're going to talk about how to resize, how to square and adjust on Canva. I'll show you a little bit of the Canva video that I did last time, just to show you some different components and maybe get a little bit deeper into the editing in Canva, because I want to give you just a little bit of each one of these, so then you can decide like, oh, I already am familiar with Canva. This seems like a lot easier than iMovie, or this seems a lot easier than Adobe. And then that'll help you decide which program is going to work best for you. So let me pull up Canva. And if you weren't here last time, something that I pointed out was that Canva Pro, I believe is the name of it. The paid version of Canva is free for nonprofits. And so if you go to, let me click out of here. You go to wait, nope. I was going to show you where you can apply for it. I clicked too many times there. Well, I swear it was somewhere right here. Wasn't it right here, Amy, last time? You might just want to use the search. Let me see. I'm trying to think.
You can go to our Facebook page, because after the last workshop, I went in and captured the link and put it on our Facebook page that it's free for nonprofits, and the link to apply to get it for free is on.
Yeah, I feel like it was right here, and I just hit nonprofit the last time. But again,
it was in that list right there.
Yeah. So again, like everything, it always changes here. Yeah, I was thinking if it was here. So you could even just Google nonprofit Canva, or go to the Nonprofits Leads website, and you have to apply. So you have to fill out some application kind of thing. But I think most of the people in the room have done that came last time, or had done that before. Fairly easy. And then you get access to all the pro versions. So I'm actually logged in under my pro version. And so you'll see kind of what's pro, but then what you're going to see is that when I bring it over, it's not going to like necessarily try to charge me for it or leave the watermark on it. If you're seeing a watermark or they're trying to charge you, you can play around with it, but don't complete your purchase until you apply for the nonprofit pro version. So then you get all that stuff for free.
And Hannah put the link to that in our chat.
Oh, yes.
So
thank you.
Anybody wants to go ahead and click on that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, she says it's under plans. And so you may not be able to find it because you're already logged in.
Already logged in. Yes, I think that was it, as I wasn't logged in before. I logged out to log in under the pro once I realized, oh yeah, nonprofits can get all this stuff for free.
Right. Thank you, Ben.
Awesome. It takes a village, people. Thank you.
Thank you, Anna.
I've got a good one, so I appreciate it. So once you get logged in, and you're all fancy here, canva.com, how you're going to find video is just hit create a design. And I'm just going to scroll down here a little bit and I'm going to find video. So of course you can see it has so many other things. If you've never been on Canva before, I know some of you are just starting out with your websites and Facebook. Canva is definitely your friend. You want to definitely become a friend of Canva. Like I said, most of it's free, and what it's not free, you should be able to get with your nonprofit. And so video is a new component, like probably only a few months new. And you're going to see right here when we click over here is the pixels right here. So that's what's going to tell you how big your video is. And this is in the parameter of Facebook. So we're good right here. I can't remember the exact, but I know this will fit Facebook. If you are looking for a certain dimension of video, I will show you how to change that around and make that work for you. But that's always a question I get, is like, is this going to upload on things? And 9 times out of 10, this video with Canva is going to upload to pretty much anything you would want to upload it to. But if there are parameters, like a certain website size that you need, or your email marketing needs a certain size, you can adjust that. So I'm going to go ahead and click video here. And one thing I really like is it does open up in a new tab. So you can always go back to your Canva home here. And then what it is going to do is this is first just defaulting to a blank video that you can decide what you'd want to do. I was playing around with some of these just to prepare myself, because what happens is they change things all the time. And probably 2 or 3 months ago, right before a Canva training, I got on here and I'm like, go straight down here. I'm like, where are my uploads? Where are my uploads? They're not down here. And they had moved it to the top, which is very convenient, but still very confusing when they move stuff. So I'm going to start, and like, I know there's a lot of you who weren't here at the beginner one. So I kind of want to show you just a few little things. Maybe will be some duplication from the beginner one, but if you're not familiar with Canva, some things I want to point out. File here, there's about 2 or 3 different ways to get to things and do things on Canva. So you may see these things again, but definitely you can name your design here. If you want to create a new one from here, you can. If you are looking to have things at certain sizing, I'm working on I'm going to take a piece of paper and put it into 3s and have the same thing and on each third, and then print it out and cut it. I was able to use this dimensions and see that. So if you're like, okay, I want to make sure, something's in this quadrant, you can do that from here. Some of this stuff you may never use, some you may. Guidelines is another thing you can pull up. Margins, print bleed. This is typically on stuff we're going to print, not necessarily the video. You can create a folder in Canva, which is really nice. So again, that goes back to everything saves. And just to let you know, like if you're at Canva home, you go to recent designs, it's going to show me everything I've done most recently. So I don't have to save this stuff anywhere else. I do save it and put it out places, but then I don't have to worry. I can delete it after I've used it, which I really like because it saves on space on your computer. And we know these computers are bogged down and run slow. You can actually share this. So if you have somebody that you need to send this to for approval, they can become a a member, I think is the word, a team. I think it's join your team. So you can add them as like a team member, and you can send it to them and they can click on this and they can actually comment like, oh, hey, change that font to bigger, things like that. So I use that with several clients that we might create these kinds of things for, and then they want to approve it first. That way it's all in writing, like, heck, I sent it to you and now you see it and now you've told me, so it should be good, that kind of thing. You can go back to different history versions. You can make a copy. This again goes back to that. Hey, if you create a template for your video in Canva, you can duplicate that template. So you just go over here and make a copy. This is where you can also hit the download button. So you'll see these buttons other places. I'm just going to show you this one and not walk through every place that's going to be, but this is a good file. If you can't find it someplace else, check out file. Resize. This is where I was talking about, you know, if you need a video in a certain size. So you can see it's pixels, but you can also do inches and centimeters. So if you have, you know, like, I'd love to put a video on the homepage of my website, go check out, you know, go Google, I have Squarespace, what size video, you know, which that's a whole other story. You have to go through YouTube. But anyway, you know, so your WordPress, whatever it is, and find out the sizing and then make sure it fits there. That way you don't have to worry. You don't have to be like, go through all this process and then like upload it. It doesn't work. So make sure you have that there. It does save automatically every few minutes. So that's something some people usually ask me. And these are all the tools that you get no matter if you're in video or if you're in graphics using Canva. So I'm going to click on video, which it has kind of defaulted to there. Because this is all of their video. So there might be times where, and I'm actually working with a videographer for a client right now. And we've talked about, well, we're going to do a clip of the executive director, and then we're going to clip out to, you know, the beach or something, you know, and so he has that kind of access to stuff. So you can really, you know, use that same kind of mindset in Canva by taking a video that you would have and then adding in, you know, the next clip of another video. So you can see this is kind of defaulting to 5 seconds too. So just to let you know what this like clip is supposed to be. So you're really just doing like a video clip right here, but you can change that here to be longer. So I was thinking, well, yeah, if you do like two clips like that, you know, you can do it longer. So each clip can be up to 30 seconds here in Canva. I know Lisa liked the templates on iMovie. So absolutely, there's some templates on Canva. So if you go to templates here, this is what I was playing around with. You can see your video will actually be what they're calling 4 pages. So when you put it all together, that is where, let me see if I can get to scroll here. There we go. It will all go together. So it's actually 4 pages. So it'll tell you here. So if you're like, I really like this, and I want it to do this, and I want to add my own stuff. If we click on this little play button, this will preview it. So you know exactly what you're getting into before you even hit the edit button, maybe. Okay, there we go. So this is like a how-to video, which is very popular. Call to action at the end, which I really like. And then of course we could, you know, oh, we're just gonna pretend that little girl's us and we're gonna put it out there. You could just take it directly. So you don't even have to change anything if you don't want to, which I would definitely recommend changing things. The templates, I'll go show you some more of the templates here.
You can even change, like if you didn't want the pink background, if you wanted
oh yeah,
blue, you can change all that, right?
You can, anything that you can click on here, you can change. So like that, you can change it to like this green. Did it go over all the slides? No. There should be a component here. No, maybe not in this program. A lot of the programs will say, do you want to add it to all the slides? But yeah, you can change out everything. So you could even, you know how this was a video within a video? That's where you could upload your video here. This is the example I was using. Let me find my, I did upload my video, didn't I? Or did I delete it?
Images.
Oh, that might be it too. Thanks, Amy.
Yeah.
Jeez, again, brain dead, sorry, but I feel like I'm doing pretty good for day 3 of this. So yeah, images. So how you would upload a video is you just hit upload media. And what's really nice, I always like to point this out, like I told you, if you take something off of Facebook and go back forth, this might help that. So if you're like, well, the only place this video is Facebook, so I'm gonna have to download it and upload it. You could also just try to connect here. Now again, it's a little glitchy. It's worked for me some, and other times it has not. So I will just tell you that. But you can pull it directly from these, as well as when you say device, that just means your computer. So if I hit device, it's just going to show me my desktop, and that's where I kept my video there so I could upload it. So once it's uploaded, it's under videos, not images. And you can even upload audio, which is really nice too, because if you're doing any radio, and I've done this and no one's flagged me on it, I have taken radio audio, dropped it into video, put some pictures up, or, you know, some sort of moving thing, and was able to use that audio on social media, because you can't use this an audio clip on social without some sort of video over it. So that's a little tidbit. If you're doing any radio, they should send you the audio and you should be able to upload it there. So back to the video here. So if I have a video here, I can drop it right there.
Kristen. I am from West Virginia, right on the.
Yeah, you don't hear me. So I was recording something. So there you go. And it fits right in there. You can do some editing from there. So I just double clicked on that and I'm able to move it up and down. It looks like I can't move it side to side, but I can move it up and down. Let's see what other editing I can do. Looks like that's about it for that particular in that template. I do want to show you, I got on my tangent there, but I want to show you how to, since I promised I was going to show you how to square it, I want to show you that too. I'm going to write myself a note. So that is, you know, the templates. That is how to throw a video in there. Again, you can play around with this. If you click on anything, it's going to open up a lot of stuff here. It does have a lot of capability, kind of just talking about how iMovie is, effects. You can have, you know, we saw that in iMovie, the different, you know, kind of text, I guess, font, and then the intensity of it. So you can change some things. Some things I like. So like if you're playing around with this a lot and doing a lot of editing and you're having trouble, like sometimes and I feel like this is relatable. If you click on something and you mean to like delete it, but then you accidentally like, oh, now it's not working. Now I'm not doing it, but you accidentally like drag it somewhere or something like crazy, like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Once you have something set in place, first off, this button is your friend, the undo button. Once you have something set, so let's say we want to leave that there, I lock that stuff. So I'm like, I'm locking that in there. So if I accidentally click on something and it moves it crazy, it doesn't matter. It's not going to move. So once you kind of have, okay, that's exactly what I want that to look like, I'm going to lock that in. Then I'm going to start moving over here, working on this one. Once I have it set, I'm going to, maybe can't get it clicked off there. I'm going to click on here and lock it. So it does, when you hit on that, it is hidden. So make sure you always hit the 3 dots if you can't find something. I'm going to lock that in. You know, same thing. If you want to, you're like, I want to say slime time on this next slide. I can click on this. Actually, I need to unlock it before I do that. And then I can copy that. And then I can bring that down to this slide. So there's some things that you can kind of play around with and do. And you can see too, I only have this at 46%. So if you need it to be bigger to see it better, you can do like more of a full screen. I have it fit. I think if you hit fill, it'll make it just a little bit bigger. Maybe not. Didn't seem to do anything. So that's definitely, you know, some things that you can do there within Canva with using those templates. You know, you can adjust or
Hi, I'm Kristen.
hold on. You can, oh, geez, I'm way clicky today. Sorry. I have to click back in here. The good news is this has saved because it saves every few seconds. So if you click the mouse too many times, it's generating right there. It's called slime time. And there it comes back. So we can play around with things is what I was getting at and adjust things as needed, even using these templates. That was the purpose of all that clicking. But I do want to show you how to, and I think I'm just going to pull up a new one, how to kind of adjust your video here. I'm just going to hit create new design. That way, if we want to come back to this, if you have any questions, for some reason my chat's not popping up. So if you guys are chatting, Is that my dating profile, Ben? Really?
Yeah, I was gonna say it was a good thing that you could see the chat.
Thanks, Ben. No, it's not. It was for a women-owned business group, by the way, LOL. And my thing's not coming up. Funny. You're a funny guy, Ben. Well, wonder why it's not. Well, okay. I'm just gonna go back here and create a new one. But I'm gonna go to video because I want to show you how to square this up. So a lot of times I feel like my Garf cart's full. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm just reading it. I'm just gonna click out of here. I'm distracted by the chat. So a lot of times our tall tale sign that we did this video on our own is that our video
Hi,
looks
I'm
like this.
Kristen. I am from
There we go. Now I'm always going to say that's my dating profile. So, you know, we put that on there. Look at that. That looks like, you know, I straight from my iPhone, you know, is it really, you know, that professional? What do I want to do with it? I can, well, hold on a second. Now that I say that, where'd it go? Here's where I did it, but I was trying to think what I was in. Oh, never mind. Okay. Oh, wow. I'm sorry. Okay. So first off, you have to change the size of the video, which I showed you how you can do that. So if you want a square, I think the easiest, and maybe there's an easier way. I think I always do like 1600 by 1600. I think that's what it is. Maybe not. No. Oh. There we go, maybe that. Oh, there we go, copy and resize. Okay. So what I just did is I just hit the resize and I'm making a square. Instagram loves the square. You know, square's very popular, very, what I would say trendy. You can take that square, and that's where we're going to go next, and put that in something like the next program we're going to talk about, which is Adobe Spark. And it won't, if not, this is what my video is going to look like. If, you know, I can, and this will look the same way on Adobe too. I can put this background, but that's going to look like I shot this video on my iPhone, not super professional, right? So if we want to take it to the next step there, make this sized a square, which I think I just did 16 by 16 inches. I was thinking it was 1600, but again, not a numbers person. 16 by 16 inches here. And then it says copy and resize. So it went ahead and gave me a new one here. And then I would just make this, you know, the size of the square here. And then if I want to crop it, you know, I would do something like that. So that way you can have a square, which I don't think I got it all the way. You could have a square version here. From here, you can still, I think I showed that in one of these. That one. Yeah, I was doing some filtering. You can do your filtering. You can do all of that stuff. Let me get off some of these things so I don't click the wrong thing. It's still a video.
Hi, I'm Kristen.
I'm still my dating profile there, but it's now a square. So that might be something you want to do when those people are doing those, the iPhone videos. We've done that. Like if I'm taking the video and someone does a Facebook Live, we'll take that and put it into a square, resize it as a square on like Canva, and then we'll push it over on Instagram. Because if not, it's going to be like this little slit on Instagram where you're going to see the person. Now, granted, it crops, you know, crops most of them away. So it's just like their face essentially, but you can kind of, I mean, obviously this one I wasn't planning on doing that with, but you could plan to do that with a video. And then knowing that you're going to crop it and have it squared up like that. So any questions with that? With the Square Video, with Canva, using the template, which I think a lot of you would like to do that. You don't have to use a template. You can have your own design, start completely over with just a blank design. Just showing you all the different videos. So we saw the templates, all the different videos that you can kind of implement. You can search video is something else I wanted to make sure you knew. So these are free videos. This is, I mean, we're not necessarily paying for it, but Canva has paid for their people to use these videos. So there should not be any issue with copywriting or anything here. And this is a safe, I would say Canva's kind of a safe place. Like I'll have a client that'll be like, hey, we need a picture of a sandwich. You know, it's like, okay, well, we could make one and take a picture. Or if we have 3 seconds to get this picture of a sandwich, we're not going to go to Google and take something off images on Google. The safe place to go is like Canva, and Adobe is another one that I'm talking about today. Can you cut and splice your videos in Canva? That's a really, I don't think so. The capability, well, I guess there's a little bit. I think it's more, it's more trimming. It's saying it can cut, but it's more trimming. So I don't, the only thing I could think that, I mean, there's always a workaround. The only thing I could think you could do is kind of like that other video that had the double, I'm trying to find the copy button. Actually, this might be easier than the Adobe. I kind of would have been like, I was putting them together. I'm like, well, which one is going to come first? So, but that was a good question.
You know, I want to go back and hit on what you were talking about with templates for
Yeah.
video and graphics, because the time that you put into making the template, you get back so many times over. And it's part of branding, right?
Yeah.
For things to look the same. And I think, I remember we had a nonprofits lead brought in a marketing person for a workshop a few years ago, and they said, you will get completely sick of the way it looks. You'll feel like it looks the same over and over and over again, but that's you. Everybody else goes, oh, that's them. Like that, they need that. They want that to kind of identify who you are and to be drawn to that look.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Probably one of the number one things that I deal with nonprofits is that people don't know what they do. They don't know who they are or what they do. And I think that is where video can really, be beneficial. But yes, keeping that brand look consistent. You know, if you never use pink and green, like don't start using it now. Go back to your colors. If you are thinking, well, I don't like my logo and I don't like my my colors, well, then maybe it's just, you need a whole new rebrand, because you're right, Amy, it's like you get sick of it, but that's that consistent look. And I feel like even week after week, I was doing these Zoom trainings for these small businesses in Southeast Ohio. And I do feel like I still, like every third one, they would be like, now, how do I find you on? Even though my presentation's completely branded, has my business name, has my website, has, anything they would need to find me, there was still that, now, how do we find you online? So even though I feel, again, like it's overkill sometimes, to people that have never seen you before and don't know who you are, just now needing your services or just now maybe moving into the area, then it's something for them to go, oh, that's who that is. And oh, that's what they do. That's what they do. And then, oh, well, when I want to give some money, I know exactly what those folks do and I want to be able to support them. So I think that's what that comes down to as well. And Amy, you made me remember one other thing with this template. And I'm going to talk more about this in the Adobe side of things, but this last slide, I guess is a good way of calling it, this call to action, she's branded up here, it's slime time, has her picture, she's doing her thing here. And then at the end is, hey, what do I want you to do next? Once this 23.7-second video is over, what do I want you to do? And this shows a really good thing. Obviously, if you're watching slime videos, you're going to want to watch more slime videos, right? So here are some places for you to find more videos and more slime reviews. And she says it right here. Watch my other ones here. Here we know that logo is Facebook. We know that's Twitter, YouTube, and this right here, where it's, yes, it's repeating the same thing, but that's her handle on all three. Tells people what they want them to do. If you want them to call for more information, put the phone number, call for more information. If you want them to visit the website, make sure you say visit the website. And that's in marketing. We always say, it may sound redundant to continuously say, click here or visit our website or call us, but we want to tell the consumer, the person that's watching the video, what to do next. So this is a really good example. So think about that when you're making your videos. What is your what to do next thing? So somebody mentioned about, oh, is it clickable? No, the website's not clickable, but you put the website on there, and then in the description, you make sure the website's on there too, which is clickable. But you're still telling that person what you want them to do. And the more, the better, because we know people don't read, they miss things. They may think it says something when it doesn't. And so, we put it in the video, we put it in the description, and when we share it, we put it in that too. Just to make sure that all of that is being done. So yeah, the templates are really nice with that. And making your own template, you go up here and you name it, your nonprofit template, and you just copy it and you add your new stuff to it. And that's what I would definitely recommend, whether you use Canva, Adobe, iMovie, whatever it is, that if you're going to do multiple videos of similar things, create the template. Even if it's just like, well, the first one's going to be the template, then don't, just keep copying that one, because it's going to take you less time and be better use of your time.
Kristen, would you also show us, you showed us, but just point it out to us again, where you were able to save your colors?
Yes. Okay. Yeah. And I think I did that mainly in the first one. And because of the Pro, you will have access to this. I'm just going back to the main canva.com, and that is under brand kit. And I was able to save my fonts that I want to use. So whether it's big, middle, little, whatever you want to call it, you can even upload a font here. And then I was able to save my colors here. So I actually put in the color code, so it's there. I need to put my logo in here. Honestly, I think I use Canva for more client stuff than I do my own, but you can also put your logo in there. So then it automatically is, right there. And I think it might put it on almost everything if you do that, because I do have a client that has their logo in their brand kit. And I feel like when we get together and look at that, it shows up on everything. All right, so time-wise, I'm going to move on to Adobe here, if we're all ready. Make sure my phone, sometimes when it's logged into the computer, it has the wrong time. So I was like making sure it's not, because one time it said it was like 11:45 and I'm like, what? And I was like, oh, it's the wrong time. So Adobe Spark. So the site is spark.adobe.com. I'm just going to make sure okay. And what we're really going to talk about through this is branding, trimming, adding music, which is a big one that we haven't really talked about until now. Adobe, definitely, if you're into the music and adding music to stuff, this might be your best bet. Things you might need prior to jumping on Adobe. Your logo, you might need that. You're going to need your video, any photos you would want to use. So I would say, those are some things that you might use.
And confirm for us, Spark is free. That's why we're public.
Spark is free, and that's why we're talking about it. If you go to like Adobe Photoshop, that's not what you want. That is a paid version of Photoshop. But definitely spark.adobe.com is free. There may be some like photos you could use that you have to pay for, but everything that I'm showing you is free. Again, it'll keep all of your stuff here, which is really nice. You can do templates, and they have some templates for you. It's going to show you all the different things that you can do. I mentioned that at the beginning. And so where we're going to go is videos. This little plus sign up here will take us to video. and it's going to always make you name it. And essentially you can change this. This is just the title. So I think I have a test already. I probably have a test 1, but we'll do test 1. So you can choose one of these thought processes. Doesn't mean you have to stick to one of these, but if you think, oh, well, I'm teaching a lesson, I'm just going to try this one, you can do that. What I like to do is usually just start from scratch. But I mean, we can look at both of those. So I'm going to head and hit start from scratch. Yeah, gives you little tidbits while you're waiting here. And did I already make it in? That's weird. It's in square. It was not squared. Oh, okay. I think I did. Must have been when I was playing around with it. Okay, so this is what it usually looks like. So if you bring yours up, yours is probably going to look like that. I was going to say, how'd they get square? But that was where I was playing around with it. Yes, Spark is free. Oh, TechSoup for nonprofits. Thank you, Ben. I did not know about that. So I might have to get educated on that. So here is where you would just see it. I think it's just defaulting this blue. I have a feeling I put this blue on here somewhere, but we can get rid of that. So just to kind of show you around, because it does look different than probably what you've seen before. Let's start with layout here. So you don't have a ton of options for what your slide will look like. So each slide you can see here is default at 2 seconds, but can be up to 30 seconds. This is where if you're doing a lot of editing within a video, that's fit for you. I will tell you, I've done it in Adobe because that's all I had access to. It was before iMovie was around. It was before Canva had video, and it's not the best thing to do. So let's say you have like a 2-minute video, you're essentially gonna have to cut that video into 4 30-second clips, which can kind of be a pain. Can kind of be okay, depending, like we talked about, if we want to stick the URL on something, then that's okay to do it that way. But it might not, if you're thinking, oh, I'm going to be talking for 3 minutes before I want to stick something in there, it might not be the best bet for you. Plus there are some, there's only these 4 ways of doing things. If you do put it in something like Facebook, you can add a better caption than this, but like the split screen, just a screen with your title and text, or full screen is really your only options. What we're in is what's considered full screen. So when you go into hit full screen, you have 2 options here. You can either do a video or a photo. So we can upload a video, and I'm going to upload that video of the vertical before I made it square. Maybe. Wonder why this isn't working. Oh, come on. I think it's my computer. Come on. You worked before. Why are you not working? Let me see. I'll just pick another video. I really want a vertical one though. Those are all. See how it's acting like it's working, but it's not for some reason? Well, Do a little workaround here. Maybe. Oh, that's the square one. Of course, the ugly example I want to give you, I can't figure it. It won't let me go. I don't know what's going on. It is an MOV, but it should. Okay, this is the one I want. Hold on. I think. I don't know if this is going to be kind of like it, but maybe not. I'm not sure I don't know if it's because of the MOV, but I thought I threw it in there before. So
It's good for us to see the workarounds too.
I know. I'm like, honestly, like, I think like 99% of what I do is like, well, that didn't work. So got to work around it. Yeah. I was like, I'm like, I know I tested it and it worked. And I'm like, and it acts like it's going to work. So I don't know if my computer's kind of like, I think that update this morning, it might need to restart because it's making some sounds too, which is kind of concerning. So that could be it. Let's see here. It should be under downloads. Okay. And I don't know if it's going to come exactly, but it's going to give you the sense. If you pulled a video, that's a iPhone video. This is what that's going to look like. And here is how you would expand it. I don't know how long the video must only be 10 seconds long. So it's going to let you expand it for as long as it is, or 30 seconds. So when you pull in a video, you can adjust it. Cause like I said, the default is 3 seconds, and then it's going to show you here, that you're saving it, and then it'll pull it. So when you do an iPhone video, that's what that's going to look like. Now, one thing that I found when I was going through things that, will probably take one of the things out of the equation, which is squaring up the Canva, is that you can reset a full screen. We know we're going to use this wide screen for everyone's video. Then have them do it, horizontally. If you're going to do a square, or you're going to do a vertical video that you're going to put on social media and people are going to watch it from their iPhones, then have them do it that way. The preferred method, usually when you're reading about doing video and stuff, they say you want to record it that way. With us, we can change it. A lot of times if you send it to people, they can change it. Or the assumption. Okay. Yeah. So that way, that's a good question. So I'm going to show you here. I just downloaded the Square version. So even if we can put it in Square, on Adobe, it may still turn out something like that. So I hope this is going to work. Okay. And then again, you always are adjusting here. I think that was one of the ones that I spliced up a little bit. Okay, so you can see that, the square does look better in that sense. If you do have people recording horizontally, then the widescreen is something you would want to do. So from here, this kind of shows you some of the capabilities here. We can zoom in and out. It looks like, we can zoom out a little bit. And again, it's going to have that background, which that is another part of branding. So if you're thinking, well, I want to somehow put my colors in here, we have done this with other folks before, and people really like it. And then you can add, the name of your organization up here, and it keeps that branding. Add the person's name down here. So there's capabilities in here that you might see that are different than like what we talked about in iMovie.
We can also overlap on the video, right? And we bring something forward and kind of make it look like it's on the video. Does that work in this program?
Layout wise, the option for that is like a caption that we can move this. So like this, is that what you're meaning? Like something like this? Yeah, in Adobe.
That looks good.
Okay, in Adobe, it's less like, Canva, we could really move it around. Adobe, we're just a little bit more, in tune to what they're letting, but that would be something like you could put their name, always have their name on the left-hand side, always have that. And what's nice is if you set this up and you think, okay, I'm going to do like 3 or 4 testimonials in a row. Okay, I love how this looks. I want it to all look that way. Down here, these little 3 dots, you can duplicate that. So then all you would have to do is add the other person's video in the middle there. Maybe. I was like, seems like it's, and I will tell you, Adobe is probably one of the glitchiest ones out of all of them. Canva's done a really good job of kind of fighting the glitch. But Adobe, and I will tell you, it's the one I've not used as much recently because of iMovie. And then there's one I promised I would tell you, Animoto, I think I spelled that right. Oh, no, it did not. Animoto, it corrected me. There we go. I think that's spelled right. There might be two N's. It is a paid version of something very similar to this, but has a lot more capability. So I've been using that for clients more than this. But honestly, I mean, I don't like the 3 seconds that took me to do that. I don't think that looks terrible. A little glitchy because we don't have this turned over, but we should be able to go in here and just stick in another video and adjust that and, you know, just the time. And then again, that's just based on how long I was talking. So if yours is, I mean, if it's over 30 seconds, you might have to have several clips with that. But if it's under 30 seconds, that all should fit there. And then, you know, well, I may have hit it in the wrong one. That might have been a, oh, no. Delete this. You're seeing how all this really works. It's like, oh, that didn't work. I'm just going to delete it and try it again. I don't know if I hit it in the right. Well, it's kind of acting like it is. Huh. Well, it may not be as easy to duplicate in here because there's usually two kind of options there for stuff. And I don't see that. Now, one thing people like, most of you probably know Andrea Shirey. She really likes Adobe because of this right here. When she does some recordings, like for trainings for people with websites, she will put something up here and then she'll hit this button and talk right into Adobe. And so then her voice is over that slide. And she uses that a ton. Her and I talk about that all the time. I've used it a couple times, but mainly what I've done is either had video that already had sound on it, or went over here to music where I can add my own music, which doesn't necessarily have to be music. Remember that radio ad I was telling you about? You could upload that radio ad there, and then that would go over the whole presentation. You know, it wouldn't just be just that slide. If you're looking for some sort of like voiceover for just the slide, then you want to use this red button right here and record right on Adobe, which is probably the only one that I know of. Even Animoto, you can't do that you can do this on, especially for free. But you can add your own music here. And then again, just like I said about the copyright and the photos on Canva, this right here is all like copyright free that you can use. So it should not get flagged on Facebook or anything like that. Kind of talked about colors and branding. That would be under theme. Again, you're a little limited, but most of the time we can find something that would match. There may be the paid version of this may allow you to have, because see where it says add your brand and it has a little gold thing. You know, you may have to do the paid version, which just looks like it's where it's taken me. But that is a possibility. So again, you kind of play around with these in the free stuff, figure out what you really like, and then realize the benefits of that. Yeah, well, it looks like it's gonna, oh, well, looks like it might let me add stuff, maybe. Oh, okay. Yeah, doesn't act like I don't have the paid version of this, so it doesn't act like it's making me pay. So that's something to think about if you're, you know, into the branding that we've talked about. Let me make sure I've covered everything. I know we're kind of getting past the time here. Just make sure I've covered everything on Adobe. Any questions with Adobe? The next section, I'm really gonna talk about like how to upload, which we talked a little bit about in the beginner one, but there's on Adobe. I'm gonna pull it back up here so you can ask those. You can download it, you can share it with friends, you can print. Model option here, you know, 3 sizes, 2, music is not, music's actually not bad. Upload your own, add your own brand stuff, looks like, and our layouts here. So probably the least one I use, and you have Adobe on here. And so when I click on that, you delete this slide. You can actually, well, maybe not the credit slide. You delete credits if you don't want that one, but you can't delete the last slide either. But I have put this in my phone and then trimmed it off at the end just because I didn't want it on there. But this does show on there, and I think you could move it. Well, maybe not. I was thinking you could. No, it's not gonna let you move it. Spark, Canva we talked about, and iMovie, which are the three that are free, easy to use. Animoto that I put in the chat. The version of iMovie, which I told you I would have you look at that, is that MOV AVI for Android users. And so I don't see any questions. So I'm going to go just move on here quickly to how to upload. Just as reminders, I believe I had the same in the first one, is YouTube is a great place to store your videos. You can even have them unlisted or private, so you're just sharing them with certain people, or you can have them out there, and it's the number 2 search engine in the world behind Google, so you might as well. All you need is a free Gmail account, and that equals a YouTube account. Landscape does look best in YouTube, so if you're thinking to make some just for YouTube, consider that. So that's that horizontal. Facebook loves when you upload video directly to them, so not through not the link through YouTube. They like short and sweet, and it would need to be an MP4, which you will see when those things saved, they saved as an MP4, except for that one saved as an MOV, which I'm not sure what happened there. Usually it'll take it. Instagram, they love vertical. For Instagram, of course, it's going to square it up if you put it in a post, but for our stories, and that's where we see a lot of the video is the stories, 15 to 30 seconds. There's been a lot of changes with Instagram with reels and other things that we could probably do a whole other training about, but definitely, just some how to upload there for your, knowledge for as of now, right? So big thing I talked about was scheduling on Instagram and Facebook, and how important that was. I was trying to be fancy and copy and paste this, even though I think I don't even have it. Oh yeah, I have it right. That is the URL to get to what Facebook is now calling like your business manager, creator studio, business suite. It's called about 13 different things, depending on what app you download and how you log in. But what this is, you're going to see all the clients I have here. I'll unselect them all here. Unselect all. Let me pull up. I'll just pull up my page in case I accidentally hit something. I'd rather have it published on my page. So this is what Creator Studio looks like. It combines Facebook and Instagram. It's very much video driven. Right here, upload video. So if we can take the same video on Instagram and push it out to Facebook. Facebook to Instagram isn't working right now, but if you would say, okay, I have this Instagram video and I want it to go Facebook and Instagram, you can go directly through Instagram. For this purpose, I'm just going to show you the Facebook. It shows a little bit more capability of captions and things like that. So if you would hit upload video, you can do multiple. You can post across multiple pages, which may be good for some of our folks in the room. Single video here, and I'm just going to pick one of these ones that I was messing around with, because it does not matter. It should fit just fine. And this is also where you find the insights that we were talking about that you go back and look at. So first thing it does, it starts uploading. So it's going to give you the upload time here. First thing it's going to ask for, it's going to make you have a title before you upload it. Moving my stuff around so I can see a little bit better. Description. This is where you would want to reiterate the call to action. Visit our site. If I can spell, website, all this stuff here. I'll just do that. This is just like a post. So anything else you would want to put in your Facebook post, you could put that, you could add there. Tags are nice, but I will tell you that you are limited with these tags. I always say it's not like YouTube search tags. It's just like Facebook. So, see that I'm trying to think what would come up. Sometimes I just have to look here. A lot of times what I would typically tag my stuff at won't come up. So you would go in and see it under some of their suggestions, because a lot of the typing in the tags does not work in this instance. So it's uploaded because it was a short video. I can select the language here if I want to. It's going to probably default to English if I don't. You can trim it from Facebook, so that is a capability there. So we could, if okay, I want to trim the first minute and whatever off of there, you can, but you don't have a lot of capability to trim out middle. So pretty much it's just end and beginning. Okay, exit that. So that's on this side. Then on the right hand side here, that we are under detail. So now we're under thumbnail. So you can choose what thumbnail. You can also add a custom thumbnail. So if you have something that you would like to put, like maybe your logo on like a graphic to be the thumbnail, you can add that there. Or you can choose a still frame. You can go through your frames and say, okay, I want my face to look like that, and save that as the thumbnail.
I have a question about
Okay.
the thumbnail, because can we go back to older videos and change the thumbnail?
Oh, that's a really in Facebook. Oh, I know you can do it in YouTube. I don't think I've tried it in Facebook.
Well, I got some bad ones out there, so.
I know. I don't. Well, you know what? This is kind of a new thing to hit the thumbnail on Facebook. It used to not give you that option. It just picked whatever it wanted. So I don't know. I'll have to check that out, Amy, and let you know.
Okay.
Captions are really great because we know people watch video without sound on. I mean, almost 90% of people do that. So adding captions is great. I love the auto generator on Facebook, but in our great Appalachian accents, we have to be careful. So if I hit auto generate, I was say I should have hit this before. I don't know how long it'll take. Shouldn't be too much because it's a very short video. It will tell me like on each like slide, like what I'm saying, and I'm going to probably need to go in and I'm going to have to edit it, right? So this review, and if you hit auto generate, you need to hit review and edit. My dog is like, you're at your 2-hour mark, Mom. I need to go to the potty. Go lay down. Go lay down. She's looking at me. My first time in like 20 weeks of doing training, I had to stop a video and take her out last time. Oh, she's gonna bark, afraid. That's her magic word. So I think she'll hang tight. So here, see, look, it says I'm from Westbrook Market. So, I mean, you have to go in here.
Kristen. I am from Westbrook Market themselves.
Yeah. So that might've been the one I clipped good too. But so you have to go in here and you have to change this out, but it allows you, it lets you see it where it's going to be. So you can even clip it here. To decide how you want to do that. If you need to add in anything else, so like we talked about adding in that website, maybe you don't say it, you just want it in there, you can add in, well, maybe not. I used to be able to add in, that used to work. But I mean, you can add it.
Social media.
I guess you can add it right there. So if I wanted to, I could do something like that and add it in there, even though I don't say it.
Hi, I'm Kristen.
Okay, we'll get out of that. Exit without saving. So make sure if you use auto generate that you use the review and edit. You can use you can pay for captions to be put on your video. So if you've done that, that's where you would upload it. And then you can write your own. So if you're like, I'm not even going to try the auto generate, I'm just going to write it myself. I've scripted it, whatever. You can just write your own there. So that's always something I recommend on videos because people are watching with the sound off most of the time. Polls, it must be 10 seconds or longer. So my video must not be 10 seconds or longer. I think this is where they kind of moved polls. I know Ben and I've had this conversation. You used to be able to have these polls. You used to have like multiple options, and now you have 2 options. So this might have been when they did that, they kind of put like, well, maybe you want to do a poll in your video, which is pretty cool because people love to touch their screen. So if you can do that, that's great. Didn't realize I need to be 10 seconds to do that. Tracking, that is those tags. So you can add some tags up here. And then if you ever have seen the 360 videos, if you have done a video like that, or you want to change a video, like a photo or video into 360, you can do that. I don't know what it's going to do to this video. Oh, okay. It's just going to tell me where the guide points are. So if you are familiar with 360 videos, when you're on your phone, you can actually move it kind of around to see around you. And so what we're doing here is we're putting a pinpoint of where you want them to be able to move it to, essentially. So once you do that, you would hit next, and then you have these options. And I think that's my next slide. I just kind of screenshot this because you don't have to publish now, right? You can set a premiere video. So what that is, it's kind of like a live video that you schedule. And we're actually going to be doing this in a few weeks with the client. And so, 360 videos are not premiere because I hit that one. Oops. You can schedule it anytime in the future. And then of course you can save it as a draft, backdate it, if you'd want to. I'm not sure if that would be something you'd want to do. And you can always save it as a draft and go back in and look at it. It's going to say, where do you want it to show up? And newsfeed is definitely default on a play and watch. So that means somebody could say, I want to have a watch party and with this video. Allow embedding. So if somebody wants to download it or put it someplace, they can. Add a secret video. I'm not real sure. Secret video is only available for embedding and for people who have the link. Ooh, fancy. So I guess we could do a secret video. Here is something I love, and I'm sure that's what my screen shot of that was for right here. So Columbus Zoo, Cincinnati Zoo, one of them during COVID had something every single day at 3 p.m. They would do a different place in the zoo, and they would talk, have the animals out, do all this. It was my daughter watched it a ton, super educational. They had thousands and thousands of people log into the live video. They had a donate button, which if you watched that, if you were me, you were the marketer in that room, you were watching that number because people were easily able to hit donate, and they could choose $10 and just pop up, and you could see that total raising. So you can, if your nonprofit is in here, which let me see if they are. I might have to spell it. We always have trouble with this because the person that created all their stuff put the slash in here, and that's not always how we spell it. So yes, they're on there. So what that means is if you're not showing up, go and search nonprofits Facebook, and it's through, I believe, Network for Good is who runs the fundraising through Facebook, and so you have to be registered with them. This is much better than having a board member say they're going to do your nonprofit for their birthday and you wait 6 months for the money. Most of the time when I've seen this, the money has come through in 30 days, but that, obviously can always change. So that is a way that you can add that donation button to your video. So we're making sure we're doing that with all these nonprofit videos, especially if it has something to do with donations and something to do with giving, that you want to add that to it.
Let me ask you about that,
Yes.
because I'm glad to hear that the money's coming a little quicker.
It has been, well, let's just say pre-COVID, it came quicker. I'm not sure right now.
The other problem that we had with Facebook donations that some people were unaware of was knowing who the donor was, and therefore being able to send the appropriate
Yes.
communication.
That is still an issue, unfortunately. And that's why I like this. And mainly because of that Cincinnati Zoo example was like, wow, what a way to, they were shut down, no money, there we go. But, in typical times, we want them to go to your own donation site because we are tracking names, phone numbers, email addresses, addresses, and we're be able to send thank you notes and call people and, and continue that conversation, especially with people. We had someone donate to this particular nonprofit $2,500 via Facebook last year. And I almost died because it wasn't through this, because it was through somebody's Facebook page that they set up, and we didn't get the money until February. And I was just sick the whole time because I thought, oh my gosh, this lady has donated this money. Is it ever coming? But I will tell you that Network for Good is a really great customer service organization. At least they were, a few months ago, because they were in constant contact with me, said it was like, they were just waiting for Facebook to drop the money. As soon as they got it, they sent it out within a few days, but it was that wait from Facebook. So it gets me a little bit, but when I did talk to them, I asked him about this, adding the donation button as on the business page. And he said that turnaround is 30 days. And so I know I had a couple people I told to do it, and they had said they got their money within that time frame. So they weren't like having panic attacks like I was like 5 months later and not have the money. So that's definitely something, to add to the video, but to definitely keep in mind that runs through something that's not your donation site, and you're probably not going to know who that person is. I mean, the only reason we knew that person did it was because they told somebody they donated that much money, and then it didn't come out of their bank account for like a week and a half. So she was afraid it didn't go through, and then we didn't get it until February. So there was at least there was that communication, and we knew who she was. If not, we would have never known, and it would have been a nice surprise in February, but we would have never known, even when she donated, because the date was even different by the time we got it. So there's a lot of good, and there's a lot of kind of, back and forth there that we're just not sure about. So pretty much that, once you get that set up, unless you want to add it to other pages, you would just hit schedule or publish, and it will go, and your video will go. So I know I'm over, and I do apologize. I'm just going to quickly point out the last thing here, and that's insights. And so the Creator Studio is probably the best place to see insights. You can see your performance of your videos, how many minutes they viewed it. So that will help you make better decisions about your future videos. If you're doing 10-minute videos and people are checking out after 3 minutes, then let's start doing 3-minute videos, right? So we're just going to take that content and we're going to divide it up and make it into 3-minute videos. So that will help us decide to make better use of our time, better use of our resources in making video and putting it on social media. So I think that is what I have, the quick version of the ending of this. And I do apologize. I'm glad I cut a couple because I would have been even longer. Regarding iMovie, no, I saw there was an iMovie for the PC. I did see that. If you search, I don't know if it's just iMovie.com, that's what's coming up, because I was just, oh, that wasn't it, because I probably went to that at first and it didn't work. Yeah, see, Windows and Mac. Oh no, that's the MOV AVI. Hold on. Oh, I hope I didn't get that confused. iMovies. I bet I did. See how those ad people. iMovies for Windows. No. Oh, I bet I did. iMovie for Mac. And I have a Mac, so I didn't even think about it. iMovie for PC alternative. Now this is iMovie. I didn't see this one before. I'm such a sucker. I hit the first link. Apple iMovie. Oh, yeah. Either one, a video editor. Looks like this you would have to download. I am not, well, that's that AVI. I think this is just another place for that AVI. I would say that be your alternative. Oh, I thought I saw it, which I did see it, but then once I read it more.
Is it easier? So we have an iPad. Would it be easier than an iPhone just because it's bigger?
Probably. Sometimes the apps are a little different from the tablets to the phone. But I would check it out. I mean, it like you said, it might be just easier because it's bigger. Hopefully the app would be similar. But sometimes like, I haven't been on a tablet in a while, but I know when like Facebook even first came out, the app looked different on the tablet than it did the phone. So anything else? I'm sorry, it was quick at the end.
Well, we're all going to have the video. We can,
Yes.
go back and take a look and do our own